Hello everyone, Kingston here for Lightspeed Saber League, the world's fastest light-based fencing. And today I thought I'd do something different. One problem I have with my own league is that I kind of know all the fighters and I know all the fights. So it's hard to commentate on something because I've already seen everything, actually. So I thought I would try something different and go to another league and try commentating one of their fights. And so I thought I would go with one of the leagues with a simpler rule set, which would be the Saber Legion. Is a bit more straightforward than other systems, and so I figured it'd be a good place to start. So I believe this is the a World Championship event from earlier this year, and this is the first undercard from that event here. On the right, we have Tamakaze. I'm afraid I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. In the blue, and over here is a Kevin McMahon. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. For the color red. One thing that has tripped me up with Saber Legion in the past is the way that they use their colors. They always use a consistent red and blue, and you don't actually want to look at their lightsabers. You want to look at the bandana that is somewhere attached on their body. And luckily here, Tamakaze here is dressed all in blue, but he is in fact wearing a blue bandana behind his head, so he is the blue fighter. And Kevin McMahon is the red fighter on the left, which is off camera at the moment, but I believe they will reveal him shortly. So I'll be trying to tally the score for you guys so you know where we're at. Otherwise, there was no on-screen graphics for this one. So hopefully that will be helpful. Anyway, it looks like the fight is getting started. And now you can see the red bandana around Kevin McMahon there on the kilt there. All right, so blue goes for a float there. It kind of misses. And I think that looks like they're calling it for blue there. First touch on the shoulder or the arm, as I can see. So we're at 0-1 for blue. Blue trying to come in here. Big attack from red, but blue kind of dances away. Some defense from red there. Another defensive action. Red trying to keep his distance, and looks like blue's trying to get in there. He's got him on the point there. And looks like some defensive movement towards the lower lines for red. I don't think ultimately necessary because he was able to split himself out to avoid the hit. Ultimately came in and landed the first touch on that one. Another big attack from him there. And blue just kind of trying to keep his distance here. He's got some interesting footwork. Probably not a fencer. I'm not really sure what his background is. And in that case, I believe red comes in there. And blue attempts to defend it, but fails on that one. And the attack comes in onto the leg. So I believe we're giving that to red for 2-1 so far. So far, another low sweeping attack from red. Red is trying to keep range there. And blue admits a little light touch there, and therefore they award another hit for red. They're at 3-1 currently. Seems to me like red probably is a little bit more mobile than blue is. Blue's a little bit off balance overall, I'd say. And another double attack there from red. Misses the first one. It comes down on the second action, and they're calling that a red hit, I believe. So they are now at 4-1. Another moment to spend squaring off, and red makes a mistake. Either goes for an attack or tries to deflect the hit coming in, but blue is using small cuts and worms his way in for the very light tap. Really well controlled there. So nice movement from blue. They're at 4-2 for red right now. So it looks like blue may have a bit more interesting strategy here. Red kind of flailing, trying to dodge the attacks there, and ultimately fails. Another score for blue on the leg there. You want to be careful when your opponent is using lots of small attacks. It's what we call fishing sometimes. Also note that blue is palming right now, so he has a definite reach advantage there. So red needs to be careful about trying to defend really small attacks. You want to defend attacks that are big, because those are the kinds of attacks that are going to offer you the best opportunity to deflect a hit and create those openings. Small attacks are not very much committed, and therefore, when they throw them, you're not really losing a lot of time or distance. So you want to be careful there. Red losing another point there to blue. He needs to be a lot more cautious about what he defends and trying to go for more counterattacks, especially when the attacks are so light. Red point 6. Can't tell this one. I think they offered this one to red there. Red obviously has a bit more speed, but blue is a lot more techy overall, I'd say. Red gets a hand pick off there, but no call on that one. Hopefully his junk is okay on that one. Blue sneaks in a little cut as red charges in there. They are now at 6-5 for red in the second round. Red comes in for attack. Blue deflects it, and then a bit of a messy exchange there while Blue's light goes out. I don't know if they're going to call that or not. I think that's not something to worry too much about, so they've gone ahead and awarded that to Red. So they're now at 7-5 for Red. So it's an interesting matchup. There's definitely a difference in control. Red is definitely going with higher level control with two hands, and Blue is going more for tight control of tight motions of his blade with reach, as he seems to prefer a single-handed grip there. A nice pick-off from Red. Blue makes a mistake as he's entering range.
Almost, this might be the match point here. Let's see if Tamikaze can make a comeback.
Red spending his time mostly trying to kite there. Might have got a pick there. It looks like he got a pick off the shoulder there, so good movement from Red there. They are now at 10-5. Red taking a huge lead in the second round.
First round goes to Kevin McMahon, Green Saber.
And looks like that may be the conclusion of this match. Best 2 of 3. So well done to Red. So I would say, yeah, that was definitely a match of control versus speed. Definitely a match of tightly controlled offense versus very versatile and spirited defense. I would say that overall, Red probably had the overall advantage. When you're pointing out your blade like that in a pommel grip, you just don't have a lot of control, and your opponent's going to be able to control your blade quite a bit, especially if they're using two hands. But there are definitely pitfalls to that kind of combat. If you don't know how to use your defense properly, then those kinds of wormy combatants are going to worm their blade in on your hands. Luckily for them, they don't count a lot of light touches that ultimately land onto the hilt and the fingers, so it doesn't matter too much. Now, I'm not really sure what's happening here. This may actually have been that was the end of the first period, so they're continuing the match. So they continue on at 10-5, I believe.
All right, there it is. That little
another pick off from Red. Blue trying to rush in, go on the offense here for the first time, interestingly enough, and looks like he's getting punished for that, though. So this may not be his forte. Oh, wow. Okay. Red goes for a swing and misses, actually, and Blue comes in from the side and gets a nice little clean pick off there. So well done from Blue there. So for this period, we're at 1-1. Another sniping attack from Red. Snipe to the low leg there. Blue stays out of range there, and Blue tries to pursue, and Red ultimately is able to time the cut to arrive there first. So nice movement from Red there. Blue obviously is trying to catch up. He's trying to get in there faster because he is down by quite a few points, and if he wants to win, he needs to go on the offense. But he clearly is a bit out of his element here. Oh, beautiful movement from Red there. Red defends the first opening of the engagement, and then Blue remises the attack going low. Red defends that and comes in with a riposte. So a really cool play there. For this round, we're at 3-1 for Red. Red having won the first round, and a speedy movement interception from Red as Blue again tries to come in for the offensive action, but just doesn't have that time correctly. Blue is really going to have to tighten up his offensive actions. Really cool movement there. Great dodge from Red. Red trying to go to the sideways there. Red possibly failed a defensive action there, and I believe Blue snuck in the hit there, so good one for Blue. We are now at 4-2 for this round for Red still. Red still holding a really nice lead here. Here we go. Red switching his stance here. I'm not sure what he's trying to do here. And, beautiful action there. Blue comes in for the offense. Red deflects the attack and comes in with a really nice riposte to the shoulder or the chest. I'm not really positive, but either way, a really, really nice play there. So Red can just sit comfortably there. Red makes a mistake there, tries to defend. But I think Blue goes for something of a disengagement there and comes around and taps Red there. So a good hit for Blue. That is, let's see, touch for Red there. So another hit there. A little hard to see that one. They're switching sides. Blue going with a different grip this time. Comes in with two hands.
There was a stutter there.
and it's a little bit messy there.
Okay, Blue got that point.
And the refs award that point to Blue for that one. So they are now stand at 6-4 for Red. Oh, pick off there. The refs don't call it.
Red got that.
Blue attempts a defense there. Red might have snuck in, and the referees have different ideas of what they saw. And the referees deciding to confer
You know, like what we see
on what they saw there.
the judges and directors.
Interesting to see the change in tactics for Blue. Blue has now switched to a two-handed grip, which is going to give him considerable more control and defensive capacity. But is this something that he normally does? Is he normally the guy in the first round, or is he this guy in the second round? I would say that he probably is normally the guy in the first round, because those were his best, cleanest touches, I would say. But now that he's going in with more offense, it could also be that he's down in points, so he's trying to go with something that he's more familiar with. So it's a little hard to tell. I guess we'll have to see if he manages to make it through. If he wins this round, then it could be indicative that that is his normal combat style.
Exchange.
The ref's still deciding to make a decision here, and let's see what Judge Hannah's call is.
Red got the point.
And red gets the point for that one.
Red
So they
lead.
stand at 7-4 for this round, I believe. Red kites again. Red defends. And they had a bit of a mutual beat motion there, and I think blue landed that one, actually.
Look at the line games out there.
And
We got the Santa Cruz brothers
I'm
line.
actually not sure what call they made, so...
Charlie Cummings
1 minute remaining.
and
Got 1 minute remaining on the fight here for the round.
There it is.
Almost a nice slip there. I would have believed it, but blue concedes the contact, so they are now at 8-4. All right, blue's got to do a lot to catch up here, and I'm not sure about that one. Looks like they're giving it to blue. I think that's probably correct, yeah. In this case, red mistimes his action, and blue is able to intercept the movement, so he gets the first touch.
Lead still.
They are now at 8-5, so blue could still make this if he rushes, but he's got to get moving. Nice series of defenses for red there, but ultimately, one of the refs sees a hit there, so
Blue.
I think something happened earlier, probably. But yeah, again, you got to be really careful about those
Heated right there. That was a good
series of attacks. You don't, if someone is attacking you repeatedly over and over, you don't want to try to defend this. You're just not going to make it. Okay, so you've really got to get out of range and create a space for yourself. Red defends some attacks there and is able to deliver a riposte. Still holding a nice lead. Blue has returned back to his pommel grip style, and he gets a pick off right there, but they don't call it. His light has gone out.
Heard some solid
I think blue's getting tired of picked off, so red has now,
Blues. Was it blue still?
well, let's see. That was a little hard for me to see there. So I think only one of the refs had a sight on this one, so it looks like they're not making a
Settle
call.
that decision.
Ooh, big play from red. Blue terribly mistimes that attack and sneaks in on the face there.
9-6. Red in the lead.
And they are at 9-6. I think I miscounted one. Oh, great defense and a riposte from red. Hopefully for him, blue didn't sneak in just beforehand. And it looks like the referees are having a little trouble telling which it was. But they ultimately give it to red, it looks like, and they now are at 10-6 for that round. And I think that means that red has won both rounds for this fight, and it goes to Kevin McMahon.
That was a really nice fight.
So, had some good, solid defense there from red. It didn't work every single time. At times, blue's style was definitely anathema to red style when blue was able to go on offense and keep his blade up in the front and maintain the threat. So that was a good way for him to survive. But ultimately, when you're using that pokey style, that blade forward style, especially with these heavy weapons, you are definitely vulnerable to some nice hard beats, and that definitely occurred. And that definitely showed itself when Kevin McMahon was able to defend the attacks and throw out ripostes, which he did very nicely. So I'm not sure what his background is, but I don't think it's kendo. It seems to me like he's probably done some HEMA before or something like that. But then again, I'm not really seeing a lot of indications of that either. So it'd be interesting to find out what his background is. He would certainly fit into Lightspeed. I mean, that's solid defense there. Obviously, Lightspeed defense is much tougher, but it is better rewarded. So you know, it'd be cool to have him in Lightspeed League eventually sometime. So be curious to talk to him and see whether he's learned his skills and things like that. Anyway, so that was a cool fight. It was definitely nice to see a variety of styles. It wasn't too different from a Lightspeed fight actually. Although obviously the blades are a lot lighter. It'd be cool to see the two of them take a whack in the Lightspeed format. Anyway, so I had fun commentating that one. It was definitely cool seeing people that I don't know about, and I'm definitely seeing a fight that I have no idea about either. I had fun with it. I hope that you had fun with it. And if you'd like me to try commentating on another fight somewhere in another league, please let me know and send me a link, and maybe I'll cover it for you, okay? Other than that, thank you so much. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.